Hey, what's up, guys? It's Terrell here. It's Terrell Game Vlogs. I know the last time you saw me, you were mad because of the shit I said about Samurai Jack, and it caused a lot of controversy. And the last video I put up has dislikes, so in comparison, this video won't get as many views or as many likes or dislikes. But I would hope this video is a little bit more positive than the last one. Sorry about the breaks. I've been still uploading, but you know, these last few weeks has been like E3, a lot of gaming stuff. The anime channel's kind of suffered too, and just me kind of thinking about some things, which is kind of what this video is for. It's kind of a video, kind of a state of address in some ways. You could easily amount this to like an end of the year ramble like I always do, which will still be done, but I just kind of wanted to make this video kind of maybe as a video proof of what the fuck I plan to do and to see if I actually go through with it. I think to kind of start this off, I think one of my biggest problems in my life has always been, I guess I would argue probably the fear of change. I'm not the kind of guy who feels the need to move and jump around every year or a few months or so. I rather get into a position, be comfortable with that position, and then chill. I mean, technically, as far as my work experience goes, I think I've only had 2 jobs, and I mean 2 jobs in the sense of them being in 2 different organizations. If I wanted to be technical about it, I've only really had 1 long-standing job. The first job I ever got was like a fucking Kroger's job, and I only worked there for maybe, I want to say a few months. I didn't even work there that long. And then that's when I got my job with the library. But that was me being a student assistant because I was in high school when I got that job. And then my decisions as far as college was concerned kind of culminated in me ending up getting an IT position in the library system, which is what I've been working for 3 years. A lot of what's bringing on these thoughts right now is a few things. First things first, I turned 26 a week ago. I turned 26 on June 16th. Thank you for all those who gave me birthday wishes on whether it was Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the fuck. I appreciate Discord, which that reminds me, I have a Discord server. I'll leave that in the description, so if anyone cares about it and who doesn't already know, it's there. But I turned 26, and my 3rd year anniversary for this position I'm in currently was yesterday, was the 23rd, because apparently I got this job like right after I turned 23. Which was cool as shit, because I think I'd only had my associate's degree for like a year, not even a year. I got my associate's degree in the middle, like near the end of 2013, and then I got this job like in the middle of 2014. So it was like maybe not even a year gap. It was like maybe six to 8 months before I got this. I thought I landed this pretty quickly in retrospect to a lot of other people I know who have bachelors and who are still looking for jobs. I have a friend right now who's looking for a bachelor's, and she just now got a full-time position, which congrats to her, but it's the same thing. And it was a combination of those things: my age, my 3rd year anniversary at this job, my degree, and then like even at my job, because like look, the reality of the situation is this: I live at home and I pay my mother rent. I'm 26 years old. I live at home and I pay my mother rent. And it's not because the job doesn't pay enough for me to get an apartment, but it's one of those things where it's not like I'm just paying. Literally, it'd be like living paycheck to paycheck. And that's, to me, that is the most unappealing thing to do. If I'm going to live on my own, I'd rather have money left over to do what the fuck I want, whether it's buying new gaming and anime bullshit, or if it's me going out to the fucking movies. So yeah, like my job, the way my job is now, I could technically afford to move out, but it'd be one of those things where I'd be just scraping by. And who the fuck wants to do that? I've seen people, my mother's done that. That's actually part of the reason why I didn't go for it, because it's like my mother does that shit. I know over hundreds of people in my life who've done that shit, and I have no interest in doing that. If I'm going to go through this shit, if I'm going out there, I want to have a good bit of extra cash in my wallet, so if anything ever blew up in my face, I'd be covered. Which is part of the reason why I have this job and the reason why I haven't moved. Because living here allowed me to, even though I was paying rent, I was still obviously saving way more money than I would if I had moved out. But the reality of the situation is that the job doesn't pay enough. And the other reality is that the job doesn't really have any room for advancement. The only other position I could go to requires a bachelor's, and it also requires the person above me to leave. My boss, essentially, which I know he has no intention of doing, nor do I expect him to. On top of that, my original goal when I got this job in 2014 was to save and then try to go back to school while doing the job. And then that turned into a whole bunch of things because just like everything else, everything costs money. And then that's another loan I got to take out. And I'm already working a job that doesn't pay enough for me to live on my own, let alone a fucking loan. So I was like, screw it, maybe I'll go for certifications. Well, certifications, it was a mix of procrastination and complacency and a mix of just having other shit to do. So, of course, nothing really came out of all that. It just kind of culminated into me saving money. If nothing else, that's all I did. I saved money, and I have a good bit of change. So if anything ever happened, I would be able to cover most out-of-the-wall expenses. I'm in that position. So it's not like I don't think the 3 years were wasted. And now I have 3 years work experience into an IT field. It's cool. This year was the year I kind of said to myself I would do a lot of things differently and try to improve on myself in a lot of various ways. I would say starting with this year, but it was more of just me kind of fixing up shit I was doing before. For example, I've been going to the gym since I think I've been going to the gym straight maybe 2 years now. 2 years I've had that gym membership, which even though I know, and ironically enough, the friend I did I probably say a good chunk of videos back about the friend who doesn't talk to me anymore. She was the one who inspired me to start going to the gym. The problem in the reality of the situation was that even though I was going to the gym, my eating habits were still trash, so the gym did very little. If anything, the gym just kind of casually offset the weight I was gaining. And it wasn't fucking, so it was like going to the gym, because that's the reality of it, is that going to the gym doesn't mean shit if you're still eating like trash. So I recently, probably within these last, I want to say 2 months, started trying to change my eating habits. Good news, lost about 10 pounds. 10 going into 13. It's somewhere between 10 and 13. It kind of fluctuates, but 10 to 13 pounds, which is cool. The only reason why I'm even saying that is because I want a documented reminder of where I was at on June 24th. All right. And then I went to the doctor to get a physical, make sure my teeth and my eyes and shit were cool. There's a few things I need to do to that fucking car. I wanted to have like a bunch of small accomplishments because there's no fucking point in trying to do something huge at once. If nothing else, learning to pace yourself to me is one of the most important things. But the reason why this video exists is because I was at a crossroads. I was like, I think I had said it maybe a few weeks ago. I said to one of my friends, I said, you know what, I probably need to start looking for a job. But it's one of those things where it's like I only have an associate's degree, I have no certifications, there's no push for me to look for another job right now. It's not like anything in that, but I think a culmination of seeing a bunch of things in my life recently have just kind of led to this moment. As I said, I'm the kind of guy who I worked my high school job until I was 23 and then jumped into a higher position in the same organization. I think at this point, it's arguable that I probably am just gotten complacent about where I'm at. And that's not really good, especially if you're not in a very stable position. If I was like living on my own and owned a house at this point, you know, maybe you could get away with being complacent. But if I'm not even making enough to go get a fucking apartment and live peacefully, then there's a fucking problem there. So, because the biggest issue is just I don't get paid enough. And I was sitting there thinking, do I want to spend the rest of this year getting like a few certifications and then applying for jobs, or should I just go ahead and start applying? That was my thought process, and I was talking to my friend. Shout outs to Christina. She knows. I was talking to her and asking, you know, what's her situation? Because she doesn't even live. She lives in like, I won't say that because I don't know if she's cool with me saying what state she lives in, but she lives not in the South. I'll just say that. She doesn't live like down here in Georgia, all right? And I asked her, I said, well, what's your educational situation? She goes, well, she's very similar. She has an associate's degree, and she lives on her own. But the difference is she has a boyfriend who also has an associate's degree and also works. So you got two incomes coming into the house. It's one of the reasons why I made that video a while ago talking about how if you had like a boyfriend or girlfriend, that can easily offset some of the issues you currently have, because that's two different incomes coming into the same household. Whereas if you're by yourself, is either you get your shit done or you hang in mediocrity for the rest of your life. And it's the same thing. Even her friend, she's mentioned that they have bachelor's degrees and they end up getting jobs that are either at the same tier as her or lower. Like they either can't get a job or they have a job that doesn't pay what it should pay because of the whole job system being based around your experience and how long you've been working in that field. So it doesn't even matter if you have the bachelor's, because most people, because that only helps for jobs that don't have anything to do with your field. What I mean by that is that there are certain people who get jobs in fields that they're overqualified for, fields they have no interest in, just because those are the fields that aren't requiring this ridiculous amount of experience. It's like you want to get an IT job, but you need like 4 years experience in IT work, and you're 24 or 23, and you just got your fucking bachelor's. Where would you have had that experience? It's one of the reasons. Well, even the friend I'm talking to here, it's the same thing. It's like, well, it's like I have the degree, but everyone wants fucking experience, and you can't get the experience unless you were smart and you did some type of interning during school, which you probably weren't thinking about doing because you were just trying to fucking pass. And so the system is fucked up, right? And so I sat there. So I've been seeing a lot of people leave my job, specifically, a lot recently. A lot of them, it's very similar situations. Either they don't like the work environment, they need more money, or the job isn't what they wanted it to be. And so I think in the last few months, we've had like at least somewhere between like, I want to say 4 and 8 people leave. And then you got people who are currently there talking about retiring soon. And I'm just kind of sitting there going, I was like, can I imagine myself being here for another 6, 7, 3, 4 years? And I'm like, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I have no intention of doing that. And so my thought process was get the certifications this year and then go start looking for jobs next year. But realistically, that's me procrastinating again. It's like now, because originally I said, I was like, okay, I need to get some work experience in. Because that was the whole reason why I worked this job as long as I have. It's partially because of the increase in money. Then realizing the money still wasn't enough for me to do what I wanted to do. I said, well, at least I have the job experience, and I'm still living at home, so it's not a huge thing. But reality kicks in real hard, and I'm 26. I'm already past the halfway point in my adult career in terms of like the 20s. They said the 20s is like supposed to be the best time of your life, or supposed to be that major point in your life. 20s, maybe 30s. I'm 26. I would like to have myself pretty situated by the time I'm 33. It's partially because I like the number 3. Yes, it's very fucking petty and stupid, and I don't care. I don't care. It's not the fucking point anyway. The point I'm fucking making is that I would rather, hell, in my 30s in general, I'd rather be set up. That means I got 4 years and counting, probably like, technically it was like 3 years and like less than 365 days, like 360 days or 350 something days left to do what I want to do. Also, my alarm's going off, so let me hit dismiss on that because it's going to piss me off. Okay, we're good. So I think there's a few jobs that are open now, and I think that will be my transition, because I think a lot of people just don't want to move. A lot of people just don't want to keep switching jobs and keep making all these transitions. Because once you get somewhere that you make enough money for where you're happy, of course you don't want to keep fucking rocking the boat. No one wants to. There are people who like rocking the boat, and there are people who don't. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't. You know, I'd rather things go fine the first time and not worry about it again. But everything recently in my life is just kind of culminated in this thought process of I need to get my foot out there. I think it's something similar to what I said when I got this job, or right after I got my degree, and I started applying for jobs right before I got this job I'm in currently. It was that same thing. I kept saying I need to put my foot out there, and my foot out there. And I mean, I still did, but it really amounted to me just being like, I put my foot out there and it landed me in like the door, like the next door. Like, I mean, it's like I moved, but it wasn't like I left the building. I just kind of moved into a different department. Which in a lot of people's ways, people would just view that as, oh, that's just that was an easy win because you already worked in that organization. This time, there is no other place in this organization I could go for another IT job, so I am going to have to put my foot out into a different area and hope to God it works out, because I'm bullshitting. I mean, real with myself at this point. I'm bullshitting. And this video really will serve as that. It's an update to you guys, but it's also a reminder to me. It's like, dude, you're bullshitting. And it's hard. I mean, I'll be real with you. It's like, I feel like it's hard because sometimes you sit there and you look at job applications and you look at other positions that are open that you technically couldn't apply for because you didn't go the same route as other people. Some people went ahead and got the fucking degree and got the bachelor's and starting their like high-paying careers from Jump Street. And it makes you sit back and look at their situation, and look at your own situation and compare it and be like, did I make the right decision? And sometimes you don't fucking know. You don't fucking know. But in my life, I've learned that there's really no reason for having regrets. Like, for example, I could have stayed and got my bachelor's, but I thought the school I was at wasn't really teaching me what I wanted to learn. So I went to a technical college and got my associate's, right? And I sat there and thought about, do I regret not just sticking it out and getting the bachelor's? And I think partially I really don't regret it, particularly because if I had have went for my bachelor's, I would have missed this job opportunity, which some people might argue was a good or bad thing. Because I could have easily have gotten out of college, maybe gotten even a better position from Jump. Possibly. I don't know. That shit's always up to chance. We don't know what would have happened. It's all, it's kind of whatever at this point. But also considering things that happened at my previous position and at the previous place I work, because I don't work in the same building. I don't even work in the same area. I don't necessarily regret the decision I made. So I'm thinking that doesn't necessarily mean things are going to go as smoothly as it did back then. But, I mean, it shows that even though your choices may have not been the smartest in the grand scheme of things, they weren't necessarily dumb either. See, and I guess that's the major thing. You may have not made the best choice. That doesn't necessarily mean you made the wrong choice. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling at this point. The point is, I want to continue to move. Continue to lose weight. Continue to change my process of thinking. I've already kind of gotten some of my ducks in a row for certain things. At this point, it's now the only thing that's left for me to do is just to start filling out applications and see what happens. I mean, most people are struggling with getting jobs. I'm struggling with fucking putting down applications. What kind of shit is that? It's fucking terrible, man. And if you can relate, that's understandable. I appreciate you understanding. And if you want to talk to me about being a bitch about these things, then that's perfectly fine. If anything, that might help light a fire in my ass anyway. But, yeah, I'll leave the Discord link in the description. I appreciate you guys for watching, and hopefully by the end of this year, it will be more of a transition from 6 months ago. And also, I think the other reality is, when I go back and look at my videos, like all the videos I made since 2008 or 2011, if you watch the Insane Game Freak channel, they all take place in this fucking house. All of them. The only thing that's really changed in these last 6 to 8 years I've been doing this, is that I just transition rooms. Like literally, you guys have only seen maybe like 3 rooms of my house. And it was the computer room, which is when we first got internet. It was around the YouTube generation starting. That's where I started. Then I moved into my actual room, which is where I was actually sleeping in. And you saw that room go through some casual changes, but for the most part, still the same shit. And then I'm in here, which originally this was my parents' room. And they moved downstairs. I've been in the same place. You know how many people have made YouTube videos who have moved multiple times? And I'm like this dude who's literally been in the same house. I've been in the same house the whole time. And granted, I started videos when I was 18. But I think it's time for a change as far as you guys in terms of scenery, and as far as me in terms of capability. And granted, I don't think that's not going to change in by the end of this year, I'll be fair. I'll be real with you. Even if I got the job and I got another job, it still takes time for me to start making money and to get accustomed to how the job works and see how my schedule goes. But the point is, it would be the start of real change. All this other shit has been kind of casual build-up. And I think everybody wants everybody else to do well, as long as they're doing well too. But you got to make the effort to do well. You can't just tell me I want to do better and then not do anything about it. So yeah. So I'm telling you, and I'm going to do it. So I probably I need to go back and revamp my resume because I haven't touched it since 2014. But that's what this video is. It's kind of a casual update and me kind of forcing myself to move again. And I mean, like, really move. Because at this point, we're past the halfway point in the 20s. And most people would say it goes downhill from, like, the late 20s and forward. Some people are nicer about it and say 30s. But the point is, I'm not in the teens where I'm allowed this little fucking window of bullshit. I don't have that window anymore. It's literally you get it done or nothing fucking happens. So let's try to make something happen. So thank you guys for watching. This has been the Vlogs of Game from your boy Terrell, and I will catch you guys later. And if you guys are feeling somewhat similar or in similar situations in life, hey man, we can have a conversation. Response videos are still a thing. It may not be official, but damn it, you can still write response in the title of your video. Let's talk. Hence why the Discord server's down there too, so you know. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Life's a game, play to win. You saw.